It's more than 5.5 weeks since we first heard that Edward Snowden had landed on Moscow on the way from Hong Kong, and at that time it looked like he was heading for Latin America and this would be a short stay. But for those 5.5 weeks he's been sitting in the transit area of Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport. He's acquired a Russian lawyer who's been trying to deal with his claim for a temporary asylum in Russia. We thought that his initial paperwork might have come through last week, but it didn't. But we have heard today directly from the lawyer who's been dealing with his paperwork, Anatoly Kucherena, that he has handed Edward Snowden that paperwork. And in fact, the press office at Moscow's Sheremetyevo airport have told us that Edward Snowden left the airport between 1.5 and 2 hours ago. We're not quite sure how that ties in with the timetable of when he was given the paperwork, but certainly we're hearing from multiple sources relating to the case that he has left the airport, and he may have left as much as 2 hours ago.
Daniel, as you were saying, there was some talk that he might get his papers last week, but has this come as a surprise, and has there been any reaction from the United States?
It hasn't come as a surprise. I think it became fairly clear a couple of weeks ago that this was going to be Edward Snowden's best route, and that the Russians seemed to be reasonably well inclined towards giving him some assistance, some kind of temporary asylum status. It's not clear, I should say, at this point whether he's actually been given a formal status as claiming temporary asylum, or whether he's just been allowed to enter the country while that application's being dealt with. But the Americans, certainly when it looked like he was about to be allowed to leave the airport last week, started saying that they were very distressed about it and they didn't want that to happen. So I think we can expect that in the next few hours, as this news sinks in America, that we are likely to get some quite strongly worded comments from the State Department in America or from the Justice Department in America. So we'll have to see, but it's unlikely to improve US-Russian relations. I think we can certainly say that.